All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning. We're so happy you're here. Welcome to anyone who's new or who's been here many times before. We're so happy to have you. So today we're going to be teaching you guys about tablets and kind of give you just like a tablet tutorial. And we're so lucky that today we have Martin Flesher who sponsored our class. Thank you so much. And our class today starts at 11:30, like it does normally. So welcome. Thank you so much, Martin, again. And if you would like to support us and help sponsor us, you could email at Miller Senior info@millerseniortech.com. And then we'll just start off with our mission statement and like why we teach these classes, what our goal is. So it is the responsibility of the younger generation to educate seniors about technology. So the goal of Mittler Senior Technology is to cure the issue of social isolation within senior communities and to help seniors feel connected with our new world of technology. So our personalized classes strive to educate seniors on how to communicate with friends and family in the manner in which the world is accustomed to today, and how to use technology tools to enhance and simplify their daily lives. So we're changing the world one senior at a time. So we've taught over 3,000 seniors in 10 different countries, and there are more than 400 classes that we've already taught. So today is Sunday, and like 2 Sundays a month, we teach like kind of just like special classes, just about things related to technology. But we also have a computers basics class that's a 10-lesson course. It's about like computer and smartphone basics, and the reduced price is $7.50 per class. And it's a recorded class taught by Jordan Mittler. It's like very professional. It's like our most popular path, and it kind of just goes through everything you can possibly need to know the second you just bought an iPhone, just from kind of start from the beginning. And if you want to sign up, you can go to mittlerseniortech.technology/basics class. And then if you've already purchased our basics class, or you're like, no, like I know enough about technology, like I don't need to start from the beginning, we also have this advanced computer class. So this is also a 10-lesson course. It's almost like the next level of technological skills. And this reduced price is $10 a class. So, and it's also recorded and taught by Jordan Mittler himself. You sign up the same way, mittlersenior.technology/advanced class. And it's like great classes. Like we strongly urge and recommend you guys to like still come to our Sunday classes, but this like basics class really covers like everything you need to know, and also this advanced class just builds on your technological skills. So if you want more information and you want to sign up, you can go to mittlerseniortech.com. And if you have any questions or you would like to sponsor us and a class and help support us, you can email info@mittlerseniortech.com. Okay, so what is our agenda for today? So as I was saying in the beginning, we're going to teach you guys about like a tablet. So tablet introduction, kind of what it is, like why one would want to use a tablet, and kind of just getting started with an iPad in general, like the very basics, using an iPad, and then like the settings on your iPad. And if we have time, we might talk about some of the apps that you can have on an iPad, kind of in relation to like a phone or other devices that are available. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to have Nathaniel Chetrit kind of just give us like a tablet introduction, and just like if you're not even familiar with what a tablet is. So without further ado.
Hi guys. So as Stella just said, I'm gonna be telling you guys like just showing you guys like what a tablet is, compared to like other devices. So, starting off, could we go back for that for a second? Like, let's just talk about like what are the different types of devices and like how do they compare to a tablet. So, can anyone tell me what this the one where my mouse is like covering right now, like what that is? Does anyone know? You can feel free to unmute yourselves. the desktop. I don't know if you can. Down right there, yeah. If anyone knows, just unmute. All right. Basically, this is just that's I'll just like tell you guys. This is a desktop. As you can see, it's not really portable. It's really big. It has a mouse that's like not attached to it. So it's meant to just stand up like on your desk and not really portable to bring around places. And then to the right of that, this is a laptop. So it's basically a desktop that's like more portable, that as you can see, like it doesn't even have a mouse, it has a trackpad, and it's more portable, but as you can see, it's still pretty big. Then this is one of the, then on the left we see a tablet, where it's kind of like like a handheld computer or a laptop. As you can see, it doesn't have like a keyboard attached to it. So basically how it works is like you have like screen touch, where you can move wherever you want. The keyboard will come up on the screen. And that's like really the difference between a laptop and a tablet. It's much more portable. If you go to the next slide. So as I just said, tablets are like handheld computers, more portable than laptops. The keyboard is actually on the screen. It's not detached from it. It's a touch sensitive screen for typing and navigation on the actual iPad. And an iPad is an example of a tablet. It's basically just like a bigger version of a phone. But the key difference between a phone and a tablet is, with a phone, you can pay monthly for like cellular data, which will allow you to like be on your phone anywhere you want. And with an iPad, you don't have that option, but you can always connect to Wi-Fi. So I advise you guys to just bring your tablet or iPad to places where you, like your home, your friends, like anywhere where you can access a Wi-Fi. And we can go to the next slide. Here are just some options of tablets. There are more than this. This is just some of the more common ones that we found. You have of course, the Apple iPad, the Samsung Galaxy tablet, Amazon Fire, the Microsoft Surface Pro, the Lenovo Smart Tablet, and the Google Pixel tablet. So these are all examples of just like tablets that that all these like rules kind of apply to all of them. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was very helpful. Just like explaining like different types of iPads and like why they're helpful. Nathan, if you can continue. Nathan? Oh,
Okay. So I'm Nathan Hiltzik, and so I will be actually getting like how to get an iPad actually started. Okay, so you want to go to the next slide? Okay, perfect. So the first time you turn on your iPad, so like right when you buy a new tablet, you'll be asked to choose a few settings. So your preferred language, which would be like English, and all these options come up on the screen right when you open it up, right when you click on that home button. And so it would ask you a Wi-Fi network, your Apple ID. And if you don't want to choose all of these settings, you can always skip. You can always skip them and then come back to them later, which is a really great asset. Because let's say if you forgot a password, let's say if you don't know like your Wi-Fi or all these things, you're able to just come back to them later. So that's a really good aspect of the iPad, right when you're getting started, actually like to set up the iPad. Okay, you want to go to the next slide? Okay, so now we'll be getting into the actual buttons on the iPad. So as you can see to the right of your screen, or to the bottom of your screen, the bottom right, you'll see that there's a blue little circle. And so this will be like your this will really help you get around your iPad, as you can see with the arrow. And so this, you will press it to wake up your device or to put it asleep. So let's say when you get your iPad, you're going to press on that home button, and that's going to initially turn on your iPad. And so Then a cool aspect of this is also you're able to fully shut down your device. So what you're going to do is you're going to press on that power button to the top. You want to really, so yeah, right. So one of the volume, the bottom, you want to arrow that to one of the side buttons on the right. And so if you hold down on the home button and one of those, you're able to fully power it off. So therefore you won't get any notifications and it'll be fully set off. So the next button we have is the power button. And so what the power button is gonna what it's gonna allow you to do is it's similar to a home button. The only extra use that it really has is it'll allow you to fully shut down your iPad. Now another thing I forgot to add about the home button is that if you hold down on the home button, a feature called Siri is gonna come up. Now what Siri is, it's like a friend on your iPad. And so when you hold down that Siri button, you can ask, how's the weather today? What's the score of your favorite sports team? All these, you can ask it any you can ask it a math problems. You can ask any fact you want. And it's like a friend. You just hold down on that home button. You ask your question and it'll come up. And so another thing that home button is able to do is, which is a really cool feature, is there is an Apple, it's like an ID touch. And so the cool thing about these newer iPads is that what you're going to do is you're going to put your thumb or any finger you want, and that you're able to open up without actually putting in an actual code. It's just an easier way. So hold down your finger, one of your fingers, whichever one you put in, on the home button, the little circle thing at the bottom of the screen, and it'll open it up. And so with this home button, you're also able to make purchases. So let's say if you were going to buy an app and it was money, it would make you put your ID touch, which you put in at the beginning. It'll make you set up. And so you'll put your finger on it and it'll allow you to purchase it. The next, so you want to click. So the next few buttons we have are these two buttons on the right of the iPad. Now these two buttons are the volume buttons. So this will help you adjust. You want to go back a slide? You want to go back a slide? Yeah. So these two buttons will allow you to make the volume lower or higher. So when listening to music, watching videos, or even playing like video games, if you want to lower the volume or make it higher, those two buttons, that's what the use of those two buttons are for. Okay, so you're gonna go to the next screen. Okay, so now we have unlocking. So you want to click, okay. So when you're ready to use the iPad, you'll need to wake it up by pressing either the power button or the home button. So as I was just saying before, there's two ways to turn on the iPad. You can press on the home button, which is the circle one at the bottom of the iPad, or you can press the one that's really on the top, and it's a small button that's going to be on the top right. And so then the lock screen will appear. Now the lock screen, what that initially is, it's not you're not in your actual iPad yet. The only thing that you see is you see the time and maybe notifications, but you can't access any of the actual apps. And so then the next step you're going to have to do is you're going to have to put in a passcode. So either this can be numbers, this can be letters, it can be anything you want, any set of numbers. It can be 4 letters, it can be 6 letters, it can be 4 numbers, it can be 6 numbers. So that's really up to you. And when you open up your iPad, the first thing you're gonna have to do is put in that passcode. And so I recommend writing, maybe if you're forgetful, I recommend writing down that code so you don't forget it, but you're always able to reset your code. Let's say if you forget it or you want to change it, you're always able to do that. The next thing we have is the aspect I was saying before on these newer iPads is the Touch ID. And so what this is, instead of you having to push all these numbers or these letters into your screen, the only thing you're going to have to do is gently apply your finger to the home button, just gently, and it'll open up instead of putting in all these numbers or so it's just an easier way of getting into the iPad. All you do is you gently put your finger on the home button and boom, it opens up. Okay, so next we have the Face ID. So the Face ID is on, it's also a newer aspect of the iPad. And so what this is, it's similar to the Touch ID, except the only thing you have to do is you have to look at your iPad, just look at the camera and you swipe up and boom, you're already into the home screen and you are able to access all the apps. And so it just depends what iPad you have. Now, on all iPads, there's always going to be an option where you're going to put in a passcode, like that's numbers or letters. But it just depends on what like iPad or tablet you have. Some will have the Touch ID. Some might just have the passcode. Some might have the Face ID and the passcode, but always there will be a passcode, a digit thing that you're going to have to put in. Okay, you want to go to the next slide? Okay, next. So charging. So you can find the battery percentage of the tablet or the iPad at the top right of your screen. And so when it's low, you'll need to charge it. And so the good part about a good aspect of the iPad is that these messages will actually come up on your screen saying, oh, you have 20% charge left. Make sure you charge it, or it'll warn you at 10%, it'll warn you at 5%. And so there are two different ways to charge the battery. So you can charge your iPad anywhere with the included power adapter. To use it, you plug the adapter into an outlet and then connect the iPad using the USB cable. So another great thing about all these tablets is that all you need to charge it is you need an outlet, which you can find at any store, at your home, pretty much anywhere there's going to be outlets. And then with you, you are going to need an adapter, which is that box. And then you're going to need a USB cable, which is going to be that string connecting your iPad with the box. And so there, if you have this with you, you're able to charge your iPad anywhere with an outlet. Okay, you want to go to the next slide? Okay, so Wi-Fi. So you'll need to connect your iPad to the internet to be able to use most of its features. So a big part about the iPad when you're using Google, when you're using Safari, when you're trying to search the web, let's say when you're on Google Docs, when you're trying to look up YouTube videos, in order to use all these aspects or apps of the iPad, you will need to be connected to Wi-Fi to allow you to use this. And so usually you can find Wi-Fi usually at your house. You'll have a Wi-Fi at your home. And pretty much all you'll have to do for your Wi-Fi is just put in the Wi-Fi password. And so it's easy to turn on your iPad's wireless connection on or off and join nearby networks so that you can go online. And so once you join a network, your device will connect to it automatically whenever it's in range. So a cool part about the iPad, another cool aspect, is that when you're in an area with Wi-Fi, and you go and it'll pop up on your screen and you will be able to click on, we'll get into that later, but you'll be able to click on a Wi-Fi for you to join. And this will initially allow you to use your apps to really go online. Now, there are obviously some features of the iPad that you do not need to be online, but for most features, you will need to be online. And in order to be online, you will need Wi-Fi. Okay, so we're on the next slide. Okay. So I will be teaching you how to actually put in the Wi-Fi and do all this stuff. So as you can see, the red box is circling something called the settings. Now this is going to help you. This app right here is going to help you a lot with everything. This is kind of like the center. This is how you're going to be able to kind of customize your iPad. You're going to be able to connect your Wi-Fi and through this app. And this is just where like there's a lot of important information in the settings. So you wanna next slide? Okay, perfect. So once you click on the settings, you'll see all these different options, notifications, control center. But what we will be focusing on today is the Wi-Fi. And so once you click that Wi-Fi right there, this will open up. And so you'll be able to turn on when that thing is green to the top right. So you want to circle that green thing right there. So yeah, right there. Yeah. Exactly. So once you click, yeah, exactly. So once you press on that button and it's green, and as you see all these, it says choose a network. This means that your iPad is able to connect to some Wi-Fi. However, when this is off and it's gray and it doesn't come up and you're not able to choose a network, you're not able to go online and not really use a lot of the aspects of your iPad. And so when it's on, like when it's green, you're able to choose any one of these networks. However, you will need a password for most of them. So next slide.
Okay, Nathan, thank you so much. Amiel, can you just go to slide 14? I just want to highlight one more thing, if that's okay. So thank you, Nathan, for kind of just giving us like a good overview of how to use an iPad. So Apple and like other places and Samsung are constantly just developing new ideas and new advancements to iPads. So just one of the things that I wanted to highlight is we're showing you kind of an older version of an iPad where there is like this home button, and you could and that's like one of the things that you mainly use, as Nathan was saying, to open it, power it off, buy things, and etc. One of the things, especially on like an Apple iPad that they added or actually took away, is they got rid of that home button that the arrow is showing right now. And they, on the top, that button all the way on the top, that has a fingerprint. So instead of using your home button to open it, you use like your fingerprint on top. But you could still also use your passcodes. That was just one of the things that I wanted to highlight in a newer one. So they're always like advancing an iPad, and like don't be like alarmed if like you get an iPad or you have an iPad that's not exactly like the one we are showing you, because there are so many different variations. We kind of just wanted to show a very generic one, but there's also variations that don't have a home button. You use your fingerprint instead. Just they all have a settings, they all have passcodes. We're kind of just trying to cover the things that apply to all iPads. Thank you, Amia. So now Jordana is going to explain to us a little bit more like about what it's like using an iPad. And yeah, without further ado.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jordana, and I'm going to go through how to use it when you open up onto the home screen. So this is what the home screen would normally look like. The background isn't always the same, but this is the more general idea of what it looks like. So the first thing that I'm going to point out is the status bar. The status bar at the top of the screen in the white is displaying current information about your iPad. This includes the status of your internet connection, the time, the battery life. So right now it says it's 2:00, it's Friday. It's not correct for today's date, but that's what it would say on your iPad. Then there's apps. So the apps are the icons that you see here are shortcuts to the apps. So if I wanted to click on photos, it would open up right away so I can take a picture. All of these apps that you see on the screen come with your iPad automatically. If you want to download more apps, you can open up the App Store and search for an app and download it. But these are the ones that come with the iPad already. And to open any app on your iPad that you see on the screen, you just have to tap on the one you specifically want. So like Nathan said before, I could just tap on settings and it will automatically open up to all of the settings that are available. Next is just talking about the home screen. Here is this is what you see when you open up once you put in the passcode, like Stella said and Nathan said, with putting in your password or just your fingerprint. And some of you may notice that if you have a computer also, that it looks like one. It looks like the desktop that you see. It's where all of the apps are kept, and it's the first thing you see when you turn on your device. And you can even have multiple home screens to make room for more apps and organize all of them in however way you want to. And to navigate between screens, all you would have to do is swipe left or swipe right. So if you see at the bottom, there are 3 dots, and that will show you that there are 3 pages of apps, and you could slide between them and find where whichever app you are looking for. Now, the dock. The dock is those 5 icons apps at the bottom, and it is designed for your most frequently used apps. By default, it's going to include Safari, Mail, Photos, Music, and Files for this specific iPad. Like the arrow is pointing out, that's where the dock is, and that's where all of your most frequently used apps on this specific home screen iPad is. Now, you can customize the dock if you want every single time for it to be the same one. So if I use photos a lot and I like to see pictures of my family, I can move the photos into the dock. So by adding to customize it, you would add or remove icons so you can change them to your favorites. The next slide, Amiel. Okay, what gestures can we use on the iPad? So they're also sometimes called multi-touch gestures. Amiel, can you? Yeah, thank you. this is what you do to open apps. This is what you do to move around the iPad, to basically just like use the iPad. You're going to tap it, you're going to drag it, swipe, double tap, pinch. So if you're going to tap on the screen or select something on the screen, like an app or a link, you can also tap it by holding the app. So if you're trying to switch around an app or move it to a different place, you would hold it for, let's say, 3 seconds, and then you could drag it somewhere to move that specific app. Another way to think about this tapping, holding, moving it is also like on a desktop. When you right click and you try and move it, that's the same thing. If you're trying to drag, you can scroll up, scroll down, left, right, or any other direction on the screen, basically. Swiping left or swiping right to flip through pages of the home screen. As we said, like there's multiple pages you can have on a home screen if you have a bunch of apps that you like to use. If you're in photos and you're trying to swipe between different family pictures, like we said before, you can just swipe left, swipe right. And maybe you're reading a book on ebook and you're trying to go through the pages while you read, you would just swipe left or swipe right, depending on what you need to use or find. Now, if you double tap, you could zoom in or zoom out on photos, specifically with web pages or certain apps. So it's just like a zoom in, zoom out button, like how you would on a computer, but with double tapping on the screen. And if you want to like zoom in, also another way you can do it is to pinch it in or out. So that would just get you to basically, if you're trying to see something closer, or if it's just hard to read, it's helpful in that way. Now, the control center. The control center, if you have a newer iPad, you would scroll from the top right, or you would swipe up from the bottom. But it basically allows you to quickly access frequently used settings for your device, as well as a media panel with playback controls. Just swipe down, as I said before, the top right of your corner where you see the Wi-Fi and the battery life. Swipe down on that and it will show you this. If you have an older iPad, you would just swipe from the bottom up and it will show you the same exact thing. And here you can see you can control the brightness if it's too bright and it hurts your eyes, or if it's too dark and you can't see anything on the screen, you can adjust it by just sliding up or down. Same with the volume. If you're trying to listen to some music, just slide it up or down on that. And now settings, what's helpful about it on the next slide is settings controls everything from the way your iPad works to the data it shares with apps and other devices. So setting gives you easy access to many things, including settings for your notifications, your privacy. And like Nathan said earlier, the way you open settings is just simply by tapping on the icon that looks like this. It's sort of like circles, if you remember that way. Also on your home screen, it will say settings underneath the settings app, so you can easily read that. Basically, it's just helping you control everything. So if you needed to change your password to get into your iPad, you can go to settings, find the word passcode, click on it and change it. If you want to make your volume your volume louder or lower, or the brightness higher or lower, you would just go to settings and you can adjust everything. It says the names of everything and easily tappable to change anything that you need. So yeah, like I said, the settings tour, there's display and brightness. So if you want to make something brighter, if it's too dark and you can't see it, or if you want it's too bright, it's hurting my eyes, it's late at night, I want to dim it, you can just lower it on settings. You can change your wallpaper if you want to make it a family photo, or if you want to make it a different color or an image, you can change it there. You can see how much storage you have, which means how much data and how much usage of your iPad is on your iPad. You can see the notifications if you want different noises when something comes, if someone sends you a text or a call. You can change different looks or also like the sizes of different things. Your privacy you can see, and the accessibility. So if you need something easily touch or easily accessed, it helps you there. So it's all in the settings, and you could play around with it. You can have fun with it and just see what you need. And it's there to help you and make everything easy as possible.
Okay, so now Jordana is kind of just gonna show us on an actual iPad how the settings works and all the different things you could do, so that you could just like visualize it. Because it's like one thing to like hear us explain it, but it can get confusing when you're going to do it yourself. So Jordana, if you're okay, just walking us through all the different things on settings.
Yeah, I'm just going to make my screen bigger. Okay, there we go. So as I mentioned before, the most used things in Stella's specific iPad is on the dock. So you see the settings as the most things she uses. So it's there, and how we're going to open it is just by clicking, tapping, no holding, just tapping on it, and it will automatically show you this. So here there's a bunch of things it shows you. And we can start with the simplest thing. Number one, you get your iPad, you walk into a home and you want to use it. You need to turn on the Wi-Fi. So you click on the Wi-Fi, and then you need to make sure the green is there. If there's no green where it says Wi-Fi, that means the Wi-Fi is off, you're not connected, and you won't be able to send text messages, calls, that sort of thing. So make sure it's green, tap on the network you want. If you don't know it, ask someone around you. I'm sure anyone will help you get the Wi-Fi on. And if you connect once, it'll automatically pop up and connect to you every single time. Now, Bluetooth, we don't talk about. That's just if you have headphones that are Bluetooth connected, which is complicated, but there's also wired headphones, but it's not necessary for your iPad. You don't need to worry about it. You have notifications. This is where you can change everything. So if I want to add on my FaceTimes, if I want to change how loud it is, or if it pulls down so you can see the notification, you can change it all here in notifications. If you want it to announce it to you, if you want it to show it to you, what it's there. A bunch of different options. You can just choose what is best for you. And here it says, like, if you don't want notifications from the specific app. So if let's say you want news and you want updates daily about what's going on in the world, so you're updated, a simple way is just allowing it to have notifications. So it pops up on your iPad, it shows up every time. And again, every time you want something there, it'll turn green. So green just means yes, okay, it's there, ready to go. Then sounds is just the same thing as the control center. You can adjust how loud or how quiet your notifications are, your music's playing, your TV, your audiobook, whatever you need to be adjusted is here. You can change your ringtone, the text, the mail, every noise on an iPad is there. That's where everything is, and you just tap on it on the right and it will open up for you and give you all these options, whatever you want to choose. So here's all the different noises Apple allows you and other iPads allow you in the settings. This is a specific Apple iPad, so this is what we're showing. It might look a little different, but this is what every iPad is going to have as settings. And then we can go to display and brightness below, and that's just allowing you to make it brighter or so yeah, so the slide bar, you can, again, how we said, how you can slide and drag things. Stella's sliding it to the left, to the right to try to make her screen darker or brighter. You can also, a cool setting is to make it light or dark. So if you like your notifications to be black, you can do that, or light, as you see that it turns very bright in your face. So if you like to see things more aware, like I do, I like it on the light, but every person's different and you can choose what is best for you and more suitable for your iPad life. Home screen and dock also is just saying that you can, if the app icons that we saw before on the home screen are too small, you can have a larger icon so it's easier to see. That's basically all it's saying here. And then the accessibility, which is one of my favorites, is it allows you to do tasks in an easier way. So if I'm trying to make something touchable more easily, or switch control, voice control, also most of these will have explanations. So switch control allows you to use your iPad by sequentially highlighting items on the screen that can be activated through an adaptive accessory. Also, if you don't know what that means, you could just switch it on, see what it does, and then turn it off. It's very simple. If you make a mistake, don't worry, everything can be changeable. If you decide that, oh, I made my iPad light, but now I want it dark, you can always go back to your settings and always change it. There is never something that will be permanent. Your wallpaper is also a fun place. This is where you can be creative. So Stella and I are in high school together, and she likes to be very organized with her schedule on her screen. So if she ever needs to just quickly look at it on her lock screen, she can see the times and everything. But you can choose a new wallpaper, and you could click all these fun different images or different like shapes. They have different options, different varieties that you can choose from. You can also choose photos that you see the old photos. You would click on it and you could pick something there. And it's very fun and easy to click and allow you to change it something fun. Also, if you decide that you want one only for your lock screen, like a family photo, but for your home screen, you want something basic that is just some dots, and that will, I don't know, bubble you up, like make you in a bubbly mood. You can set it so it in the bottom right, you see set, and you can only make it for your lock screen, your home screen, or both. But you don't have to. It's up to you what you would like to do for your iPad. This is your creative way. So Stella just made it, and it will only show up for what she wanted to. And then we talked a little bit about Siri, and Siri is very helpful. It'll basically be your friend, like Nathan said, and you can ask it the weather, or ask it what time it is in Africa, whatever you would like for Siri to do. Again, with the green, that's telling you it is on, you are ready to go. You can do Siri. You can use it on your phone. If you want to change the language, it allows you to change it right there. Like how we said before, the language is very changeable. It's not permanent, it's temporary. You can change it anytime you would like. And the Touch ID and passcode is just telling you that is where you can change your passcode on the left. Stella, and then here you can enter your passcode and change it anytime you want. Usually you would have to enter your old one. So again, I would recommend writing down your password when you immediately do it. Maybe keep it on the back of the iPad, or maybe keep it on a sticky note and keep it in your bag. So it's just easy access and very easy. But if you forget it, don't worry. There's always a way you can change it. And also someone will always help you change it if you need, just ask around. Here you can turn off passcode, change it. You can also use the fingerprint, like we said, for the home button. You can put your finger and it will automatically open it, and you can rescan it. So place your finger and it will scan it, and lines will appear throughout like that. It shows with your, and then it'll say complete. And if it asks you to do it again, it will say do it again. It will give you all the instructions that you need for that accessory or whatever you are trying to do. Anything else? You could look at the battery. That's just saying if I want my battery percentage, which I always want at the top, so it's easy access. Right now, Stella's at 100%. She charged her iPad. And then it says like just a bunch of information that is unnecessary. But if you're interested, you can look at how much you've charged it in the past, let's say 24 hours or the last 10 days. So it just shows you that, and you can always check it. And then also the one last thing I think is the privacy. This allows you to keep everything private. No one else has to know anything. This is up to you, like what you want. Like nothing's really public, but it just allows you for private on your iPad, basically. And you can tap on something and choose all the settings that you want for it. So I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Thank you so much for explaining to us how to use settings. So I'm just going to address one of the questions that we got. So we were asked what's the difference between a lock screen and a home screen. So Jordana just switched the wallpapers and the lock screen and the home screen. So if I go out of settings, this is my home screen. When I open my iPad, this is the screen. Okay. Then when I shut it off, this is my lock screen. So when my iPad is not open and not unlocked, that's my lock screen. So when it's locked, it's your lock screen. And then once you open your iPad, then you go to your home screen, if that makes sense. Before we continue, does anyone have any questions relating to settings? You could just raise your hand or text in the chat. Okay. So if no one has any,
Stella, someone has a question.
oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. Does it let him unmute?
You can just unmute yourself and talk
Okay.
if you want, or send it in.
Okay. My question is, I find if I leave my iPad untouched for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, when I press on the home screen, they ask me to please re-enter the passcode. Why do I have to re-enter the passcode every 5 minutes?
So it's just a privacy issue, just like with iPads and sometimes phones in general. So if you leave them unattended or you don't tap them, they'll just shut off automatically. So what's happening, I think, is you're not touching it. So when the iPad or your doesn't think that anyone's there, anyone's using it, it'll just shut off and make you re-enter the passcode because it thinks you left. So it's just a safety thing. There's kind of no way to prevent that from happening. It's just annoying, but you're not doing anything wrong. It's more just your iPad's just hey, I think no one's using it anymore. I'll shut off. And whenever they come back, they can turn it back on. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And you're saying I cannot change that?
Yeah. It's just kind of Apple or phones in general. It's just a feature that when it thinks you're not there, even just now, I wasn't touching my iPad and it almost shut off. So if the iPad is in front of you, you could click on the iPad so it doesn't shut off. But if you're leaving it there for 5 minutes, it's just kind of inevitable that it's going to shut off and you're going to have to re-enter your password.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Does anyone have any other questions?
Could you just go over Bluetooth again?
Yes, of course. So we have a whole class dedicated to Bluetooth. So we're not really going to go into it too much. You could go to our YouTube channel, Mittler Senior Tech, to see everything about Bluetooth. But it's more just have you heard of AirPods and stuff like that? Or wireless headphones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's where you deal with this. So if you were to have wireless headphones, you would connect it using Bluetooth. And we have a whole video that kind of goes into more depth about it, but it's not super important unless you have wireless headphones.
But that class is part of the more advanced class? No.
We have a separate class about it on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go to just Mittler Senior Technology on YouTube, there's a class about Bluetooth.
Thank you.
No problem. Does anyone have any other questions? We're happy to answer. Okay. So if not, I'm just gonna okay. Yeah. Thank you, Amiel. So another thing Here, yeah, we could, yeah. Okay, so another thing is we have the App Store on an iPad. Yeah, we have time. So
You want to share your screen?
oh yeah, sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys a couple more things just like on an iPad. So one of the things that we also have is like an app store. And this is where you can just like find other apps that you want to download. So let's see, one of the apps shows me, let's say I want to download, we just taught a class about like Amazon and like ordering stuff last week. So let's say I want to download Amazon. So I'm gonna look up Amazon in my search bar. And if you see to the right, there I have gone in the past but deleted it, so I could just click on it, and then it's loading. And then since I got in the past, it's gonna download. But one of the other things is, let's say, oh, I want to download Spotify. We also taught a class about this. So this is one of the things that Nathan was talking about before, about how using like your home button or like your fingerprint to download apps. So here it's saying Touch ID to install. So I'm going to place, you can't see it right now, but I'm going to place my finger on that home button, and then it's just going to download. And it's as easy as that. Yeah, and then we're just going to wait for it to download, and then it says open, and then I can open it. And it's super easy. Okay, and then one of the other
Stella?
things that I'm just going to explain a little bit more in depth are notifications. So can't see it here. Okay, you can't see it here, but just notifications, they're like pop-ups or like banners and like other audio and visual cues that work with apps on your device. So they're designed to like let you know when something needs your attention and or when there's been like any recent activity. So you can receive notifications three ways. So as an alert, like a pop-up or a banner. Here, I'm just gonna it's not working. Okay. So here, like it's okay. Just allows notifications. And then like a badge will pop up. Or you could visit the notification center. And yeah, so that's for like notifications. And then another thing that Jordana was talking about before was kind of Siri, that I just wanted to like go in a little bit more depth about. And Siri is like a useful feature that comes with all current versions of the iPad. And it's sometimes referred to as like a virtual assistant. So it can help you with all kinds of things. For example, you could use Siri to send messages, schedule meetings, search nearby restaurants. And it's powered by the sound of your voice rather than gestures on your keyboard. So Siri can understand and respond to complex requests, like remind me that I have a doctor's appointment on the 18th, or what's the weather like today. So here, I'll show you guys
Stella?
here. Yeah.
Could I say something to Stan's question
Thank you.
when you're done?
Oh yeah. You want to respond now, or
Yeah. So if you want to change the settings so that your phone doesn't turn off when you're away, you can press on display and brightness. And then press on auto lock, and you'll see a time. So if you want to make it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or never, if you press the never button, then your device won't turn off when you're not using it.
Can you repeat that pathway? You said display and what?
Yeah, so go onto settings, then press the display and brightness. And then once you press on that, you can scroll and you will see the words auto lock. And once you, yeah. And once you press on auto lock, then you can see the time. And if you press the button never, then it won't turn off when you're not using it.
That's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Amiel. I actually did not know about that myself. Thank you. Okay, so then I'm just gonna like give you guys an example about Siri. So I'm gonna like ask. So if I hold down and you see this like little icon, I say, "Hey Siri, what's the weather today?"
Expect partly cloudy skies today.
Oh, and then it answered for me. So that's just like a cool thing about Siri. We also have like another class that we teach about that. And then another cool thing about your iPad that I could show you in like text messages, is let's say to myself, my hands are like whatever. I like don't want to type out like everything I want to say. One of the things that I could do is if you see in this like left corner, there's like this button. And if I press on it, it's kind of dictation of my voice to text someone something. So instead of having to type everything out, this is like a cool feature on your iPad and on your phone. So you just click it and I could say, so I haven't used it before on my iPad because I normally use it for school, but I can enable dictation. So then it goes like that and I say, "Hi, what's up? Today I'm teaching a senior tech class about tablets." And it was super easy. So instead of having to type that all out, I could just say it with my voice. Sometimes it's a little temperamental, so like it won't always say exactly what you want it to, but otherwise it's just like a really cool feature. Okay, and then another big part of an iPad is like sharing. So it can help you stay connected. So Apple has created a feature called the share button that you can find in a lot of apps, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So you would just tap the share button whenever you see it, and you'll see several options. So you could share a photo, you could share photos, videos, and just a lot of other things across different networks, including email, messages, Twitter, Facebook. And you can even print photos or documents if you have a wireless printer in your home or office. So I'm just going to show you guys. Let's say I searched up, I don't know, weather report, and I click on something, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I want to send this to my grandson to tell him that he shouldn't go outside because the weather's bad today. If you see in the top corner, there's this share button, and you can press on it, and then it gives you options on like who you can share it with. So like I have a lot of like recent people that I've texted, so they'll come up here, but it gives you a lot of other options of who you can share it with. So a couple of the ways is through messages, through email, and it allows you to import it to like other documents or other apps. And then it'll also let you copy it. So if you wanted to copy it and send it to someone also. And one of the things that I was talking about before is that if you have like a wireless printer, you can hit print, and it's like really easy. I don't have one in my house right now, but like if you did, it would let you print it. So yeah, it's like super cool. So Amiel, if you could share the regular slides again. Thank you. Okay, so I hope that was like a good like introduction, just like about how to use your iPad. Thank you for all your questions. Very helpful. I learned something new today. And then just a couple like announcements. So just stay on the Zoom until the end of the announcements. Just hear like a couple important things. We hope you enjoyed today's class. Thank you for everyone who taught, Nathaniel, Nathan, Jordana, Amiel. Thank you also. He did all sharing of stuff. And then if you feel like you missed something today that you want to go back to, all of our classes are recorded on our YouTube channel, like I was saying, where you can find some more in-depth things about Bluetooth and about Siri when we teach these like special classes about it. And if you have any more questions that we can't address now, you can go to info@millerseniortech.com and follow us on social media. We're constantly like posting things to like remind you guys of things that we have. Maybe go to the next slide. Okay, so we have, again, like I explained in the beginning, we have this like computers basics class. Today was like a special thing about tablets, just like a good like setup for how to use a tablet. But it's not about like phones and stuff. So if you really are like from the beginning and need to know how to do everything from like square one, we really recommend that you guys purchase our basics class. It's our most popular class. It really covers everything from A to Z that you have to know. And it's a recorded class taught by Jordana himself, who started all of this. And it's $7.50 a class. If you want to sign up, you go to metlersenior.technology/basics class. And then there's also an advanced computers class. So it's a 10-lesson course. It's almost like the next level of technological skills. And it's a reduced price of $10 a class. It's also taught by Jordan Mittler. If you want to sign up, you can go to metlersenior.technology/advanced class. But we really recommend you guys to buy the basics class first. And then we also have these free live classes on Sundays that you guys got to witness today. And if you want to sponsor a class, which would be greatly appreciated, we're offering sponsorship opportunities for each of our live classes, and it's $50 a class, and it's just a great opportunity for like our most dedicated students to contribute to like our program and our mission. Our next live class is Leisure Apps on Sunday, January 8th at 11:30 a.m. EST. And please reach out to info@millerseniortech.com if you want to sponsor that class. And then we also have a lot of different things that we offer aside from just the basics class, the advanced classes, and the Sunday classes. So if you want, we have like group classes that we offer. So if you're part of a senior center or a nursing home or community center, we're so like happy to either do it on Zoom or come and just like explain whatever you guys want. We also do some private lessons if you're really struggling, either in person or on Zoom. And if you follow our social media and you're on our email list, we also have Tech Tip Tuesdays. So every Tuesday, we'll just send out like a 2-minute video of just something that like doesn't require a whole class for one to like understand, but you could like get it in like a short 2-3 minute clip. Okay, thank you guys so much. I'm just gonna, Ronnie had some questions, so I'm just gonna address them really quickly. So he asked, how do I handle when it says double click on the right? And what does the share button look like? So the share button is almost like an arrow with a little box around it. And then when it says double click, it's kind of just, we were trying to show that on an iPad, it's really like a touch screen instead of stuff like a computer where you use your keyboard. So it's a little bit difficult to understand in the beginning, but for the most part, the main idea that we were just trying to explain with like the tapping and the gestures and the moving left and right is more just that's how you get around your iPad instead of using like a mouse or a keyboard. I hope that helped. Thank you guys so much for coming. Have a happy Hanukkah, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. We're so happy that you guys are here. We hope that we helped in some way. And if you want any more information or to sign up for any of our basics classes or advanced classes that we offer, you go to metlerseniortech.com. And if you have any other questions and you want to sponsor us, which we'd really appreciate, you go to info@metlerseniortech.com. So thank you guys so much. And again, have a happy holidays and a happy new year.